This is the basement of our 1974 bungalow, and this is where I used to operate my business in, and this is our old laundry room, and I needed to make a change. All of this had to go. Welcome to another episode with Brew Mill Candle Company, and watch me turn my shop that used to be in the basement of my house into this beautiful laundry room and bar and family room and new bathroom and guest bedroom even for my grandson. So this is where we are now. This is out in the shop, and this is a beautiful shop that my dad and my brother and my husband and my father built for me out in the backyard. So going back a couple of years, this is what the house looked like when we first bought it. Well, this is after we demolished everything inside. So this is like only a couple of weeks after we took possession of the house. And this is what the basement looked like. It was just a clean slate, all concrete, completely empty, unfinished basement. And my plan was to renovate this entire basement and put my business down here. And we took down those stairs and we built a new set of stairs. We dropped where a bedroom used to be. We decided to take that space and make a nice big opening to the downstairs. And there it is. And we framed up some walls, and we did a whole bunch of work. Fast forward a couple of weeks, here it is all mudded and taped and drywalled and ready for my designing down there. So originally we framed in pretty much everything with steel studs everywhere, and one of the things I discovered after it was all done is it's very difficult to hang cabinets off of. So we did make a change, and this is what it looked like when we were almost finished down here. And we decided that I would operate my business down in this space. But we grew over the next couple of years, and this is what it looked like. This has now all been taken down since, but this is how I was operating in this basement. And there's my recording studio and my office, and here's my making area. And it functions so much better out in the new shop that we built. This closet was at the bottom of the stairs, and it had to go. As well as the floors were already starting to come up. That's a whole other issue, but the concrete was not leveled out very well, and then the floor installer just put that right over top of it. So what I needed to do was take out all of this flooring so my dad can grind down these little high spots and low spots in our concrete. And we put down this bonding primer, which is excellent because it takes the cement mix that we put together, which is a self-leveling mix right here, and it adheres nice and strong to the existing concrete. So after we mixed it all up, we just troweled it out with that big long squeegee, and as you can see, it's nice and level now. There's my dad just feathering in the edges. And then after it cured for about 2 hours, we scraped it down and sanded everything so that this installation would be completely flawless. So at this point here, we're just checking our level to make sure that all of the areas that were too high and too low are working, and we got everything just right on the money. So this worked out really well. And now it's time to go ahead and start installing the flooring. So my dad and I got down, and we spent a couple of days just installing all this flooring and getting it all around all of the stairs and around everywhere. And it was a pretty easy installation, and they turned out beautifully. I love this floor. It is so durable. It's waterproof, mold proof. It won't crack, it won't bend, it won't anything. It's just wonderful. So after we got the flooring all done, I decided it was time to take out my office in the back section and move it out to the shop. And here is Dad just drilling holes for me to get a air return vent in the laundry room, and as well as a dryer vent for us. So one of the things I didn't like in our old laundry room was we had this big long flexible hose that came from the back of the dryer, and it collects lint, and as you know, it's very dangerous. So we decided to change that out with a hard system, and we used this magnetic system that we picked up at Lee Valley Tools. It just attaches to the dryer, and then when you push it in, there's no squishing or bending. And it was pretty good. So we installed a couple of new windows downstairs. We did all the new plumbing. We've got that air return vent in there. I just turn it on, and a sensor will take out all the heat and all the humidity. We moved all of the plumbing lines to accommodate a sink right under this window, which is about to be changed out. and my father went ahead and put blocks. He built an extra wood framed wall over top of the existing steel framed walls. And this is so that I can hang all of my cabinets and get everything in here nice and safe. And then I decided I was going to use shiplap on all the walls. Our house is pretty small. We don't have a lot of openings for everything to come in for drywall. And so shiplap is what I did. And the installation is actually quite easy. You just have to cut around all of your electrical and plumbing and outlets and anything that's in the way, but otherwise you just move along just like this. And I didn't put a vapor barrier between the insulation and the shiplap, and that's because we left the initial blue hardcore installation in there. And so then we put in a couple of new windows into this basement, and those old ones were just so old and not very energy efficient, but these ones are great. They're little sliders. There's my father putting in all of the blocking in all of my walls. And in this little portion here, this is just my husband, myself, and my father. We're just all buzzing away. My husband is doing all the electrical. My father and I are installing all of this shiplap in the walls. So here's where I'm going to build my bar. And I decided to use these panels from Home Depot. They were just more cost effective than putting up tile, and we were running out of time. So, but I didn't think that they looked very nice just as is. And after installing it and cutting it around all of the electrical, I used this mud that I had left over from drywalling my walls, and I just built up all of these bricks to try to make it just look a little bit more authentic. I also wanted to cover that seam down the center, as you can see, and so that was the most important part, and then just build it up. And then when I'm done, when all of this dries, I'm just going to go ahead and paint over top of it. So I started with a sponge that I cut to size, and I just really wanted to create a lot of texture. So it looks really wonky right now, but when it was finished, it made sense. It had a little bit of texture, and there's a little look of what it looks like before we did the rest. So outside in the yard, this is the frame that's going to go around my washer and dryer so I can hold some stuff up. So it's just birch plywood. I sanded it down nice and smooth, and then put a nice coat of stain on it, and then I did a clear coat over top of that when I was finished. And this is the shelf that's going to go up in the bar between the two cabinets. Now there's the cabinet that is wrapped around my washer and dryer. I'm going to put some trim on it just to finish that off. And then this shelf here, we just put in with structural screws right into the studs in the back, and then we attached to the cabinets on the side. And afterwards, I filled in those holes with some plastic wood filler, sanded it down, and stained it the same color as the shelf. And that thing is solid. I can pile anything on there. Of course, we had an absolute disaster of a mess in the backyard. And as you all know, when you're doing any kind of projects, you end up with a mess. So took a day off and decided to clean the entire yard and take down that rain and sunshine shade that I had, and then head back downstairs to do some painting. So now it's time to do something with that closet down at the bottom of the stairs, and I decided to make a coffee station down there. And it was pretty simple. Just put a couple of IKEA cabinets in there, painted everything, hung a floating shelf, and now my entire coffee station mess is out of my kitchen. And we both work downstairs anyway, so it's really easy access to grab a coffee. And so I painted all of the doors black in the basement. And so this cabinet here is going to get black paint, and it's going to get the matching hardware that I put on the cabinets in the rest of the basement. So here we are just installing them, getting them level. Then we're going to put a little divider in the center, cut it down, and close that area off. And that's it. That was a pretty easy job. So this is heading down the stairs and entering into the basement. And the very first thing we have is our coffee station set up there. And as you can see, I painted the cabinets black, as I said, put a wood cutting board on top, that's a countertop cut to size, and put a floating shelf above it, which is really nice. That's set up good, and nothing is going to fall from there. They're pretty solid. And then, as you can see, I painted all of the other doors a nice black and put some gold hardware on. And this is where we moved our wine station to. So this is just an IKEA Calyx cabinet, and we put it up against the wall going under the stairs. And around the corner is where we completed our cocktail bar. So this is where we keep all of our liquor and our glasses and our snacks and our wine glasses, as well as we've got a wine fridge set up in there. And that brick wall just kind of looks a little industrial, and it makes it look kind of cool, and that lighting really added to the space. So this is really great. We like it because it's right across from our family room, and it holds all of our liquor that will take us years to drink, but it's always nice to have a selection when we have guests over. And right across is the family room. So we framed in this wall here to put 2 big French doors and these 2 glass windows on both sides so that all of the light can just flow through the whole basement. But because we put a fireplace in that room, we kind of wanted to be able to retain the heat. If it does get chilly downstairs, this basement's never cold, and we rarely run this fireplace anyway, but it's just a nice option to have. And with all the shiplap on the wall, it just brightened the place up. And that big, huge fireplace with the big TV, and that's my crib table that my son built for us for Christmas. And then my husband's got his office back here, which is really nice. He's got all of his photos, his mom and his dad, and a bunch of pictures of us together. He's so cute. And of course, all of his degrees and everything he's proud of, he just keeps in his little office here, and he's got a little bit of a privacy wall up that just gives him some privacy when he's in here. And so this room turned out great. We love it, and it's right across the hallway from the liquor cabinet. And now into the laundry room. I love this room. I mean, it's not Pinterest worthy. I have all of my stuff set up, but this is reality. This is how we use the room. So I used upper cabinets down below just so that it doesn't get in the way of the cabinet there. And then I put an Acadia countertop, and as you can see, shiplap, shiplap, shiplap everywhere. And we put a floating shelf here, and I love this nice big deep sink. We've got an RO system, a garburator, and everything that we would need for the bar as well. Plus our brand new window that's in there with a nice deep ledge. And there's that trim that I put around the laundry shelf that we built, and sanded it down and coated it, and it kind of looks a little bit like the trim on the washer and dryer. And so there's the air return vent. That's just from Costco, and it's great because what it does is that little sensor down below will detect heat and humidity, and it'll just send it right out of the room. And of course the dryer vent is nice and safe now. It's just got a straight chute, and I've got a whole bunch of storage in this room. And then I've got some old cabinets that I had, and I painted them and put some hardware, and now we have all of our cleaning supplies just in one area, which is really nice to have. I love this room. It is so much easier to use, this laundry room, than the other one we had, which was sharing the hot water tank and the furnace and everything like that. But we switched out the hot water tank, and we put a on-water command system inside of that room to give us a little bit more space, but we'll head over there in just a second. But this laundry room turned out nice, and then I got a nice little gift of a pug picture from my niece, which is lovely. And this room is really great. It's excellent. It's got light sensors in all of the rooms that we have. We just walk into the room and the light comes on. Not the bedrooms, obviously, but all of the other rooms. And then I can just keep all of my coffee and everything, all of our spare coffee mugs. I just love this little coffee station. Actually, we both do. We use it often, and we quite like it. So leaving the coffee and laundry room, this is what used to be our laundry room. This is now a utility room. And as you can see, the light came on. That's just a sensor. And we put some racks in there. We put a new central vacuum system. This is a brand new furnace. And the electrical has all been updated, and there's the on-demand water system. Plus we've got a spare fridge down here and our deep freeze. So that room actually makes better sense. And across the way, which was basically just a storage room that I had before, I turned it into a bedroom for my grandson. And he likes it. He likes to play video games sometimes when he comes over, and so he's got a room to put shelves of some stuff on if he wants. And he has his own bathroom, or anyone who's downstairs has a bathroom. We put that in, and it's just got a sink and a very large shower and some floating shelves. And yeah, it's nice to have a an extra bathroom downstairs, and this turned out nice. It's got a big shower head on the top, and it's got some sprays that come at you. So I had fun putting that room together. And basically this is it. This is how our basement turned out. And in the meantime, we have built a nice big shop in the back. I just want to point out while we're looking, look at these floors. They turned out fabulously. I love them. I know I mentioned earlier they're waterproof and mold proof. They're just gonna be great down in the basement. Easy to clean, durable. And basically that is our basement. And I'm going to put a link down below for where I moved everything from our business out into our new shop outside. Well, thanks for following along. I hope it wasn't too long. And I'm going to head back upstairs and go see my dogs who have been patiently waiting for me. Just standing at the top of the stairs. That is Breeze. She's the sweetest. And there's Bella. Thank you. We'll see you on the next video.
I don't know who's cleaning up all of this mess. I may have to hire someone. Yeah, me.
You.
Well, maybe I'll have to get fired. This is
I can't
awesome.
get fired.